Hi everyone, my name is Dan Keaton. I'm with the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Sacramento, California. This briefing was prepared on Friday, November 30th at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Please check back to get the latest updated information on our webpage. It's at www.weather.gov/Sacramento. Between now and Sunday, Northern California will have really wet and windy weather. On this briefing, we're going to discuss the details and expected impacts of the storm. Let's review just a bit. Here's a graphic of the rain that these storms have already produced over Northern California. You can see that the highest amounts were over the mountains and higher terrain of Northern California. We've had rainfall amounts up to 10 inches in the most favored locations. We had lower but still impressive amounts along the valley floor. In the Sacramento area, we've had about 1.25 inches of rain as of Friday morning. But the strongest is yet to come. Here's the timing of the next strong storm. It's going to be with us Saturday night and Sunday. So what's going to happen on Saturday during the day? Well, it's continue to be unsettled. We'll have showers. Some of them will be heavy at times. But the rain will not be widespread over the entire region. That's going to be critical to allowing some of the creeks and streams to subside a bit until the next system comes. We're going to get into the intense rainfall on Saturday night and Sunday as the next and strongest system comes through. This is going to be the heaviest of our rain events and also will produce some of the strongest winds. We expect to see really dramatic rises, fast rises on streams and creeks. The main stem river rises will continue on Sunday. We don't expect those to be extremely dramatic, however, and produce mainly some nuisance type flooding on the upper Sacramento River. With this storm, the freezing levels are going to be quite high. So what are we expecting for impacts? Well, for flooding-related impacts, we are really wanting to call attention to small streams, creeks, and tributaries draining the mountains and foothills of Northern California, and as they spread out on the valley floor. Because they're small streams, they rise quickly and rise to high levels. So as intense rain moves over an area, you'll see these small streams and creeks filling up rapidly. We also want to call attention to the potential for mud and debris flows near recently burned areas. On the main stem river, we're going to start seeing the weirs flow on Saturday into the bypasses. On the upper Sacramento River from Ord Ferry northward, we're expecting to see some at least minor flooding in some locations. Mud and debris flows and in the recent burn scars are pretty much given the amount of precipitation that we're expecting. The size of the debris flows is what we don't know, but do be aware if you're in and around those areas that you could see some rock slides and mudslides. As far as wind-related impacts, since we're getting the soils really wet and then putting strong winds on top of it, we can expect to see some at least local power outages as those limbs take out power lines. I want to say a little bit more about the debris flow. During the summer over Northern California, we had several fires. One that I would particularly like to call attention to is the Chips Fire, which is along the Feather River Canyon and Highway 70. These recent burn scars are unable to take the intense amounts of rainfall, and they produce rock and mudslides as a result of it. Depending on the intensity of the rain and the soil characteristics and the slope, some of these debris flows can be quite large, so be aware of this if you're traveling through this region. And here's a bit more on the conditions that we're expecting. In terms of how much more rain we're going to get through Sunday, we expect the mountains to again take the brunt of it with an additional 8 to 10 inches. Might see up to a foot in some locations. In the foothills of Northern California, 4 to 8 inches of additional rainfall, and on the valley floor, 2 to 4 inches of additional rainfall. As the storm moves through Saturday night into Sunday, expect the strong winds to return. All these winds are going to be from the south, 25 to 40 miles an hour in the mountains with gusts up to 70 in some locations. In the foothills and on the valley floor, we expect 25 to 35 miles an hour, gusting to 50 at times. I'll just leave you with a graphic of the expected rainfall with this next system. On the right in the table, there's some specific rainfall amounts that are forecasted. This gives you some idea of where the heaviest rain is expected. As you can see, again, the higher terrain is where we're going to see the most intense rainfall in those red to orangish areas. Once again, thank you for checking out this briefing, and please prepare for this significant weather event. Do stay tuned to the National Weather Service or your favorite local media for the latest weather updates on this impactful series of storms. You can check us out on the web at www.weather.gov/Sacramento. We're also on Facebook and on Twitter. You can follow us at #SACWX or #CAWX for the latest forecasts and weather updates as they occur. Thank you for joining us, and please stay safe this weekend.